Hello, I'm Carly. Welcome to another plugin of the week. Point Blank is an electronic school, music school. We've got courses here in London, LA, Ibiza, online. And just this week, we've launched a new school in Mumbai. We also offer BA degrees, which is certified by Middlesex University and taught here in London or online. So do head to our website, pointblankmusicschool.com, where you can find out more about our courses and our new school in India. This is JC, our creative director and plugin extraordinaire.
Oh.
Whoa. And today he's going to give us an overview of Sample Phonics Noiiz plugin, which is...
Okay, so Noiiz, I think, is coming from Sample Phonics, a team of Sample Phonics, and basically it is a sound library, sample pack. So for those of you guys who use sample pack, except that instead of buying them outright, it's a cloud-based system with a subscription.
And it's amazing.
It's brilliant. It's
so
really,
good.
really cool. So you've got two ways. There's a 15 days trial, and it gives you 1 gigabyte of free sample for 15 days, so it's not bad to try it out. And then you've got two different plans, one which is $9.99 a month, and you can stop anytime you want, or one which is $99 a year, and again, you can stop whenever you want. So basically, you've got all of the Sample Phonics content available, and there's two ways you can access it. On top of it, not only you've got Sample Phonics content, but you also have a lot of creators, and that keeps on growing. I mean, I tested it when it was beta, and then we were supposed to do a plugin of the week, and we had a lot of stuff happening, and we went to IMS and all those things.
Having too much fun.
Having too much fun, obviously. So now here we are. The version is out. I think it was launched a couple of weeks ago, I believe, or early this month anyway. So what it means is that the creator's content keeps on expanding. And I would imagine more and more we're going to have people, probably producers, renowned producers, starting to create patch and and sample packed together. So really, really interesting. And I think I've seen even on their website. I think the idea is that because they're doing it cloud-based and subscription-based, that forces them to keep on updating it, because that's the only way people are going to stick with it. So I think it's a really cool thing. What I love about it as well is the fact that what you download, you keep.
I love that.
So even if you keep, and I can see that it would be a problem, let's say, I think there are a couple of other products that are kind of similar to that, but I could imagine being a problem if, let's say, you're in the middle of a project and you've used a lot of samples, and if you can't keep them, and let's say you forget to pay the month, and suddenly you don't have access to the samples. So I think it's really cool. I mean, if you think of it, you've got access to what would be probably the equivalency of several thousands of pounds of samples if you were to buy them all. So I really like the idea of having that on the cloud and also being able to access it wherever you are. And I really believe we're moving towards computer with smaller hard drive, everything on the cloud, wherever you go, you connect, it's all there, it's always there. You log in into your mate's computer, you log in, it's there. I really like that idea. I think it's really cool. So that is the concept, I believe. I haven't forgotten anything. I think I've said everything. So you've got sound packs, and so two ways to access it. You can access it via a web browser. So
which is this?
Yes.
Here?
So if we can show my computer desktop, here's the web browser. So it's literally the website, and you log in. I like
the layout. It looks so nice and simple.
I really like it. And as you can see, you've got sounds, and at the moment, it's not available on the other platform, but you've got presets as well. So if you guys are into getting presets for silence, massive, serum. I mean, I don't know if they are serum, actually. I'm maybe talking utter nonsense here. No, there are no serum presets, but they're mostly FM8, massive, silence, ES2 as well, which is Logic X plugin synth. So great. That's going to become available on the other platform. So the other platform is the plugin. And it is a plugin that you can show in your DAW. And that's what we'll be showing mostly today.
Can it be used in any DAW?
In any DAW. Cool. And the way it works, I really like it. It has really grown on me now. I haven't been playing literally a couple of hours with it. And obviously, mostly two things that define how good that kind of product is the quality of the sample And we know Phonics is obviously well known for making really high quality sample. From what I've seen, all the samples are 24-bit, 44.1. They sound great. I mean, any of you guys who use Phonics plugin, if you like them, then that obviously makes sense. And the other way also that to judge a sample library is going to be how easy to find sounds. And I think they've done something really, really neat. So that is your web browser version. You've got packs, so you can scroll and see them all, and then you can start previewing sound within your computer.
I wonder what Voodoo sounds like.
Let's go into Voodoo. So obviously you need to be connected to the internet. So you can download the entire pack. So this one is only 150 meg, so not too much, contains 70 samples. And after that here, you can preview them. So here, you see the sample comes up here on the top.
You know, I do voodoo.
That's what Voodoo sounds like.
That's what it sounds. And then if you like it, you can download it here.
Right.
You can favorite it. You can create a new folder. So that's really cool.
So straightforward.
Yeah, very, very straightforward. And what I like about it here as well at the top, you see you've got my folders, my downloads, my favorites. So it remembers as well what you've done. So very quickly, let's say, as long as you've got internet access, obviously you're, I don't know, having a coffee somewhere, chilling out, and you're not really in the working mode in the studio, but you still want to kind of be creative somehow. You could, let's say, do a lot of previewing, starting to make a collection of samples that you're like, I'm going to work on this project, starting collecting samples, and you could create a folder, new folder, and start putting them all here. You're back at home in the studio, they're all going to be there.
Cool.
So I really like that. So I've done just one here, a test, and it syncs perfectly. So once we're going to open the other platform, so again, you can listen to here. So here we've got a kick drum, a nice kick drum, etc. So that is the web browser version.
Okay.
Now, let's move on to that one. Now, here we've got the plugin. And maybe actually to show in Logic, I don't know about the others, actually I don't need to do that. But I don't know about Ableton, Pro Tools, Cubase, etc. They all maybe work slightly different. But in Logic, you need to load the plugin on an instrument track, as if it was a virtual instrument.
Oh, okay.
That's the one thing to be aware of. The first time I couldn't find it in the plugins, the usual, and there was it's where you need to do it.
Okay.
And you see the interface is very much the same as the one we've seen on the web browser, so it's great. The only thing that we have on the web browser that at the moment they don't have in the plugin, but I've been told, I've been communicating with the guy, and they're really nice team behind this plugin, that the presets will become, they're working on it to find a nice way to integrate that as part of their plugin as well. So it's very much in development, but it's already really, really, really good. So here again, the same idea, I mean, obviously I'm opening that pack, all the samples are there, etc., etc. There are some really cool features. It reminds me, for those of you who use Logic, Apple loops, the way they're tagged, the way they sync, the way they fit the tempo, the way they can fit the key. And you've got all of that within the plugin. Amazing. And that for me really made it kind of like, it makes it really usable. I mean, on lots of levels, I mean, typically, if you're doing some underground dance music, whatever genre, you're probably going to want to be creative and not use straightforward sample loops, and you want to chop them up and be creative with them, because otherwise you're going to end up sounding like everybody else. However, if you do music for media, I could really see that as well being a really big plus. You get a brief.
Tight deadlines.
You've got tight deadlines, and people, you've worked in that world, so you know how it is, and the pitch, sometimes the brief are really precise, kind of like, okay, we want something electronic, but it has to have a world element or something, having that straight to your disposal, I think it's quite a really cool tool to have. So, should we start maybe building quickly something and to show how it works? So, obviously the locating of sound, so you could do a search, and if I wanted, let's say, a kick drum, I'm just going to kick, and obviously kick is super vague, so it's probably going to come up with millions of kicks. But then you can start refining like any good, it's probably based on metadata and all that kind of stuff. So you could have, let's say, you can choose whether it's a loop or a one shot.
Okay.
So for a kick drum, it would make sense it's a one shot. Then you could even have the tempo. If it was a loop, you could define the search between that tempo and that tempo. So really, really cool. Also keys. So you could say, oh, I need something in C minor or A major.
Brilliant.
And straight away, it's going to filter. So it's a really good filter system. Also genre. So acoustic, ambient, AD, drum and bass, disco. I mean, it's pretty comprehensive. And then instrument.
Wow.
So you could really pinpoint, like, really looking something and find it very quickly. Then it will appear here, and then you just preview it here within your project straight away. Now, if it was a loop, so should we look at some loop maybe? Or should we, maybe let's start putting something very quickly together. So that's the basic concept of how you look for things in terms of the search. And also here on top of it, the search result you can see by most popular, tempo. I mean, it's really, really comprehensive, I think. So what I'm going to do now is very quickly show you what you can, how you actually use it, the plugin, basically, in real life. So here I've got this folder, and I've got 5 sounds. So we're going to start. I've got this kick drum that I really like. I love it. It's really fat but dirty at the same time. I thought it would be a
You're
nice...
going to make us a techno banger.
Of course. You know me. Maybe not, but maybe yes. So let's start with that. So I've got because they're short sample drums, let's start doing a drum kit.
Okay.
So I'm using the XS24, but you could use Ultra Beat or Battery or whatever is your drum machine, or So here I've got the edit page where I can drag my sample, and basically here you're previewing your sample. Here the little sign means that I've already downloaded it, so it's going to be somewhere on my hard drive. And you can set where you save your downloads, so you can really organize really nicely as well. I'll show you that later. So here you drag the audio, okay? So I've got my kick drums, and I'm going to drag it here. And I'm going to have it, kick drums usually, I'm going to have them on C1, let's say. So now, do I have my kick here? Yeah. Now you may notice the pitch has changed. It's because I've got pitch selected, so I'm going to put pitch here, and I'm going to keep it as a one shot. So at the moment, just literally it's going to play back as it is. I'm not going to put any. It sounds really nice. I love that kick. So now we've got a clap sound. So let's put a clap sound. You're always kind of tempted sometimes to drag it from here. So you just have to remember that to drag it, it's from here. Yeah, it is. And we could have that on D1, let's say. Okay, I don't want any pitch, and one shot as well. Do we have that? Wonderful. And then let's say we're going to have a hat sound here. So it's previewing, it's loading. Come on. I'm going to do the same here. It's loaded into that's a bit of a long process, but I wanted to show you the guy. I could have had that ready straight away, but I wanted to show you how to use it. So now we've got our hat here. Yes, we're in a good place. And then let's say those toms to have a little percussion going on. Yeah. Here we are. So now we've done that. I can close that window for now, but it doesn't mean it's closed. Then I'm gonna, the toms, I'm gonna have to do something. So they start on E1, so I'm gonna have that F1 to, let's say, B1. And this time around, I'm gonna pitch them because I want them to maybe have a melody.
Okay.
They're a bit low, so I'm gonna pitch them here. It's up to you how you do that. Yeah? And then I do that, then I save that. He's going to ask me, how do you want to call that? And I'll call it Noiiz. It has 2 I.
And no E.
You know. So now if I bring my little keyboard here, I should have a drum kit. No, I don't, because I'm not on the right octave. Yeah, it is. Oh, look, it's working. It's working. So you see the ID,
Yes.
how it's working, yeah? So after that, you can very, very quickly start doing some stuff. So if we're doing a cycle here, and I'm going to do it over 1 bar for now. Okay, so quantize that on the 4. And then I'm going to create another track with the same instrument. Quantize that as well. Up, next. Another track with other with the same instrument. Okay, maybe we should speed up the tempo. It feels a bit slow, maybe. Let's have a 126. How does it feel? Yeah, kind of works. And then with the same instrument, and then we could have some toms thing going on. So you could create a melody with that. Let's do that. Yeah? Cool. Okay, so we've got something fairly quickly together. Now, there was another music. So after that, you can start going back to there. So I had, for example, this thing that I thought was nice as a quick loop. And obviously, normally I wouldn't. That's not the way I would go about it. You need to start to preview. In order to drag it, it needs to preview, and that is quite a long sample. So now it's previewed it. It's all going to be based on the speed of your internet, really. So I can close that. Then I've got that. Yes, I know what I want to do. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to loop those 2, 1 here. And make a 2-bar loop. I mean, I'm just really demonstrating, because the idea, I think, to put ideas together quickly, I think it's quite cool. I'm going to cut that somewhere there. How does it sound now? Yeah, and so I can get rid of that for now. I can go back to that. I want to invert that here, because I think it works better. That pattern down like that. Cool. So now let's see how it works in the context of if we wanted to add other loop and start searching for stuff. So we know we're on the tempo, so I'm going to go back to my sound, and I don't know, what do you fancy, Carly, putting on top of that?
What about a vocal?
A vocal? Should we start with, yeah, let's start with the vocal. So we start with that. Now, should we refine it in some kind of genre? Or are you happy? Just loop, maybe, rather than one shot? Just to get the idea of a tempo, how it works. So, like I said, you can get that auditioning. You see those tempo, that's the original tempo. But if I go here and I click that again, you see? It has gone to 126. So straight away now, I can listen to those loops at 126. They're already time stretched to that. So. That's a bit crazy. It's got a nice texture there. You also have a volume button here, so you can really put it in the context when you listen to it. You can put it in loop as well. So I think that's quite useful to have it as a loop if you want to start. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that could work well, sidechain on the kick, for example, and coming up, you know, in and out in stuff like that. see the idea.
Just land more, just land more.
Come on, next one. And then you can even pitch. So now, and you can pitch it again to match. So it's really quite nice, isn't it? I mean, if we were to try, so now you can reset the vocal, you're going to reset the search altogether. I'm going to go there. Instead, let's look for some perk loop maybe. Just going to see what happens. So I've synced everything. I'm going to take off the pitch for now. Straight away, it's on time. If I wanted to define maybe a little bit of the range of tempo, so I'm not totally out. Yeah, here you see now. I'm only getting stuck between 120, 130. Maybe not that, but you get the idea. Etc. etc.
Cool.
So it works really well. On top of it, so now if you click on the little kind of star things, that's the settings with your account, and you can here change the download. So at the moment, it's by default, it goes into your user folder. So Noiiz here, and you see that's all the samples I've downloaded. But if you wanted to organize it differently, you can make sure that they can go wherever else you want.
I love it.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Really cool.
And the wide range, I mean, the thing with the library is you need to really delve into it and listen to the sound and the range of the quality of the sound, obviously. But as you can see here, there are lots of packs. Recommendation sounds for me, instruments, genre, obviously, even a chart. So the most popular sounds.
Wow.
You know, and by creators here,
amazing.
and also playlists. They're starting making playlists. So I really can see the potential. The more people are going to kind of join the community, if you like, I think the more that has a potential to really grow and become a really usable tool, I think. It's
And such good value as well.
I mean, $99. I mean, $99, you've got
That's a
unlimited
subscription
for the
fee
year.
every year, okay.
For the year. But you've got unlimited, whereas the $9.99 is 1 gigabyte per month. It doesn't make sense. I mean, 99 per 12 is cheaper. Obviously, most subscriptions always do that. If you take the longer commitment, it's better value. But 99 is what, maybe $8 a month or something? That's what you pay for Netflix. I mean,
Sounds
you know, kind of. I think it's brilliant the way it syncs to the tempo, the way. I think it's far better. I prefer a system like that one than buy one of the reasons I never buy sample libraries is that I know what's going to happen. I'm going to spend days to shift through everything.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
You know, whereas, and before you come, that I feel is quicker. The way it's integrated into the DAW, you can straight away get with it, start making music, and then if you don't like the kick, blah blah, you can go back and change it. But it's about getting the ball rolling, and I really think for media as well, it's an awesome.
Yeah,
you know,
especially that bit. What's the section where it shows you? Where was it? Up a little bit further. Here, the charts.
The
the
charts.
Current sounds. 'Cause
Yeah.
you know, in media, they're always like, we want this track, but we can't afford it. So
can you do something a bit like that? Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I think it's brilliant, and also you know, film. So, you know, you can get all the stuff that you want. Look at all the tags, and then you can start taking tags away. I mean, you know, I mean, that's how diverse it is, you know, I think. But obviously, for those of you guys who, I mean, yeah, you know, for those of you guys who know Sample Phonics, I suppose you will already know their product. And I think one of the things they're good at is the diversity, the range. And I've been impressed with everything I've heard. It was like really, really usable. And I'm definitely going to use it, definitely.
Amazing. Thank you very much.
No, a pleasure.
And if you guys would like to learn more about music production, head to our website, pointblankmusicschool.com, where you can find out more about our courses. We'll be back soon with another plugin of the week. Bye.
Bye.